I'm the Disc Golf Guy, and this is my video blog. We're here for the 2016 Nantucket Disc Golf Open, and it starts with a massive skins match. And I'm joined by our co-tournament director and Todd Rainwater. Todd, what's going on here this weekend?
Well, we're here to have a lot of fun, and we're trying to kick it off with a little skins match here. We have 8 of the best players in the world here. We've got 3 automatic qualifiers for men, 3 automatic qualifiers that are women. It's going to be doubles. We have a couple of women, or 1 woman and 1 man who qualified through the qualifier. And we're ready to go. We're going to go down to hole 1. We're going to play 8 holes, $2,000, and we're going to have a lot of fun.
The first 4 holes start at $150 per hole, and then they're going to get a little bit pricier from there. Dana also just got here, came in for the Nantucket Disc Golf Open. He's going to be helping this entire weekend, starting with the skins. Dana, a unique format out here today. Tough, alternate, and best. What are we going to see from our doubles teams?
I still predict a lot of birdies, even on the tough shots.
All right. Well, we're going to see some fun. We're going to have a good time out here preparing for the live broadcast that's taking place out here this weekend. Let's get to it. This is a skins match at the Nantucket Disc Golf Open.
And hello, welcome to hole 1 at the Nantucket Disc Golf course. Hole number 1 is a very slightly uphill 619-foot par 4. I say slightly uphill. It's very difficult to see, but this is a very flat course. And great tee shot from Drew Gibson, just about catches our camera guy, Terry Miller. Some of you may know him as the Disc Golf Guy. But the main goal of the first hole here is to hit the gap off your drive, fly over the short tee, and avoid that first grouping of trees. And Paul Ulibarri has done just that with a beautiful backhand. It almost looked like a mid-range shot. But after the first 350, the hole does open up considerably. So if you get off the tee, most likely you are going to be looking at a pretty easy birdie opportunity.
Woo-hoo! Shot partner!
Perfect shot.
And Steve Brinster acting like he's been here before. Perfectly center cut. And thankfully I have reflexes like a cat. Jumped over Paul McBeth's destroyer that cut rolled out. And here is Madison Walker throwing from her partner Paul McBeth's tee shot. She goes backhand, gets over it just a little bit, catches a good tree. It's only about 15 to 20 feet in. They're going to be about 75 feet from the basket. Zoe Andyke puts up a good-looking shot, floats it, sits right behind the basket. And we've got Sarah Hokom throwing from her partner Paul Ulibarri's drive. Catches a little cabbage, needs a skip. They're going to have a tester. And Drew Gibson needs this to push. I don't think anyone told him because he just laid it up. Got Paul McBeth from the Tweebs. We'll call it about 73 feet. Valiant effort. I bet Ricky would have hit the basket at least. Yuli with the birdie.
The basket. Ulibarri and Sarah Hokom picking up Steve and Zoe. We got
Okay, here we are at hole 2, 302-foot par 3. In our skins format today, we are playing tough shot on this hole. Sarah Hokom got caught up here. We've got Steve Brinster, or is that Paul Ulibarri? And another near good shot that catches tree solid. They're gonna have a long
You'll have to make one
look
putt, basically, just go off
from
that.
either lie. Oregon's Zoe Andyke looks to be taking the right to left hyzer shot. The largest gap on this hole, off both the short and long tees, starts on the right and finishes on the left. Here's Brinster. Let's see that Brinster hop. There it is. Rips a low beamer. One release, get to the bucket.
Oh man, Steve.
Terrific shot from Steve Brinster.
Comes in
Will not
a lot hotter than he would have anticipated. That was a Brinster T-bird. If it was a Firebird, that probably would have skipped at the basket. Instead, it got the straight skip. Drew Gibson looks to be lining up the same shot. And he catches a tree. He is going to be right on the circle. Drew's partner, Paige Pierce. And Paige is going to be outside the circle with the worst shot, so they'll be taking her throw on this hole versus Drew's that is right on the circle. The key on this tough shot format is to both players to get off the tee and throw a decent shot and leave yourself at least a look at birdie versus trying to get up and down for par. Because a par is not going to win you any money today. So in this tough shot format, the rest of the group picks whatever shot they think is tougher for the opposing group, and then they both throw from there. Madison with a great backhand shot. That puts him well inside the circle. We've got Paul McBeth. I'm guessing he's going to try to skip this in. And he proves me wrong with the floater, P2. Right inside the circle, they'll be taking Madison's. Zoe Andyke from the bushes with the patent pending. And that is likely going to be their next lie, with this being the worst shot. Steve's going to line it up. There's not really much he can do other than try to throw it in. He's about 175 feet away, right behind the short tee, which is 162 feet. And he outdoes his partner. They'll be playing from Steve's lie. And Uli from about 85 feet out, he's throwing it, backhand, and gets rejected. He's outside the circle. We got Hokom hoping to fare better than Paul. It does look like a little bit of an awkward stance. Sarah going with the patent pending, throwing the backhand shot, and just about as bad as Paul's. And this would be Brinster for par. Gives it a valiant effort, skips just a little bit deep. Got Zoe here wanting to put it close. This would save par for the group. Zoe's staring the basket down. She's about equal distance as Steve. Okay, we've got Paige Pierce here from about 45 feet. Goes over the basket. Really, they only have to par this hole to win some skins here. If Drew hits the birdie, they're walking away with some cash. And even if he misses, they still might. Someone from one of these other cards is going to have to bang one from outside the circle. Hokom with the straddle jumper for a par. She's got to get it up. See what Uli's going with the straddle as well. You know he'd rather do the step putt. There must be a little tight on that tree. And no chains for Paul. And with the gentle breeze,
Madison Walker drills a 28-foot putt for Paul.
and Drew needs this to push.
And there's the other putt for Paul. 450.
And here we are, hole 3, 274 feet, worth $450. It is a left to right shot. Sarah Hokom uses a forehand, no surprise there, her strong suit, and puts it very close to the basket. I expect at least 6 of the drives to be within 15 to 20 feet here. Paul Ulibarri. A little bit tighter on it. That's going at the basket. And it appears like Paul might be a little bit longer than Sarah, but it's a pretty close birdie putt. So the players are contending with a small tree, even with the short tee on the left side of the fairway. It is the main obstacle until they do reach the large pine guarding the right side of the green, roughly 65 feet out. Here's Paige Pierce. Looks like she's also opting for the forehand. And gets over on it. And unfortunately in this format, they are likely going to be throwing from that lie unless Drew really shanks one. And that's coming right at my head. I believe it is Madison Walker on the tee. A couple of her patent flips. She really torques over on that disc, flexes back, nice little, not a nice skip, skips right into the woods. Four-time world champ Paul McBeth. He's going to try sticking it in the basket here. It does have a chance. That's inside the circle. They're likely going to be taking Madison's, and she does not quite have a look at birdie. So we got Steve Brinster with the backhand here. I'm interested to see if he goes the high route or the low route. He does go the high route. This looks to be a putter, turning nicely, checking in. And that's some great touch from Brinster. Like her partner, Zoe Andyke is going backhand. I don't imagine she'll be taking that high route. She takes a much more direct route, needs to get under the tree. It does, but skips into the bushes, they'll have a putt. And Drew Gibson squatting down with an overstable disc in his hand, going with the left to right forehand shot. Great effort. Almost hits the basket. Doesn't almost go in, almost hits the flag on top of the basket. Paige with the forehand. Nice layup. And with her partner Paul McBeth's shot seemingly parked, they are taking Madison's lie, which is only about 65 feet away, but it is in the bushes. She's leaning out with the forehand. We'll call that a nice layup. McBeth looks like he's got a putter in the hand. He's going to rifle this one at the basket. And we've got Steve Brinster straddling out of the bushes from just outside the circle. Deep straddle. After a long pause, he doinks it and gets a kind of a nasty roll away. And Zotron trying to get in where she fits in. She's opting for the same angle as Brinster. Valiant effort. And Paul Ulibarri lining up a $450 putt. Not today. All the pressure squarely on Hokom. Hokom connects from 20 feet, $450.
Team Sarah Hokom from the hole. Would you like your money right here? 100. Tip your dealer.
What's up, man?
Nice to meet you, man. You're
What's
my
your name?
hero, Pat.
Pat, how you doing?
Not too bad.
And after the solo birdie on the par 3, previous hole number 3, we're here on hole number 4. Sarah Hokom with a great tee shot. This is a par 4, 626 feet long, which means par 4s we're playing alternate shot. And Zoe Andyke lines it up. Looks to be center cut. It's all you really want on this relatively straightforward par 4. So it is a relatively open tee shot. Most of the trouble comes towards the basket with a lot of trees. Drew puts down a great roller. It is cleaner from the right side where his roller is finishing. That's picture perfect. They're going to have a pitch up for birdie. And Paul McBeth looking to, he's lining up a mash of sorts, whether it's a roller. Yep, he's going roller, trying to outdo Drew. As I was saying, trying to outdo Drew, they are going to have a putt for eagle. And Steve Brinster either lining up a roller or a flex shot of sorts. They're not in the greatest position for the birdie. It's going to take a pretty darn good shot to get up near the basket here, but it might not matter because we've got 2 great drives that are for sure birdies. Maybe even an eagle from McBeth's lie. It is a roller. Brinster is one of the best rollers in the game. Nearly hits the basket, rolls into the bushes. That's inside the circle. Beautiful shot. And Yuli lining up a sidearm with a very overstable disc. Great shot. About 15 feet away. And this is what it's all about right here in these big money skin games. Opportunities to score. And Paige Pierce has one right here from about 120 feet away. Great touch. Madison Walker lining up the forehand, trying to win some of that money. What she got? Can they cash in on Paul's awesome drive?
high.
And Sarah Hokom on the box of this par 5. Par 5 means we are playing best shot here. So hole 5 is the first of 2 consecutive long par 5s. It is 811 feet from the long tee, which we are playing today. After a couple uninspiring shots, Drew Gibson looking to change things up with a good one. Great shot. He ends up in the shoal just a little bit, but covered a lot of D. So it's roughly 600 feet worth of trees before the hole does open up towards the basket. Paige taking the same route as Drew. Catches a tree. She's on the fairway though. Zotron gripping and ripping. Looks like a great shot. Just got to stay off one of these many trees here in the fairway. And wow, that's a fast fairway. Gets about 6 skips. Brinster taking that same gap as Paige and Drew. He's going to end up skipping from the center of the fairway to the left. He's in a really good spot. Madison opting for the backhand here. She's just looking to get center cut somewhere on the center right side of the fairway. And she catches early wood. McBeth with probably a little lower than he wanted, but great skips. This is a very fast fairway. These discs are skipping like they're on ice. Paul and Sarah are out first. Looks like they're just in front of the short tee, which is 619 feet. Paul opts for a roller. Does not quite stand up. And with Paul off in the bushes, Sarah just trying to put this into the fairway, into a spot where they could possibly throw a miracle shot in. And Drew Gibson throwing from Paige's lie as it was a little bit more on the fairway. Goes for the roller, gets it down beautifully. Awesome shot by Drew. Paige chit-chatting it up with the crowd. I wish she would just throw. Great shot, but making me jump. And after a great tee shot by Brinster, Zoe Andyke has a lot of fairway to work with. She rips a great shot. And that's finishing right where you want to. They're only about 140 from the bucket. Okay, we got Stevie Brinster lining up another roller. He's going for the eagle here on the par 5, trying to get some of that money. We watched him already throw an absolutely beautiful roller on the previous hole. These beautiful fairways are relatively free of rubble, so once the disc does hit, it should be easy rolling from there as long as he puts it on a good angle.
No, Steve, the green light go. He threw down a roller. A little early to his skill up there.
from the best tee shot of the group, Paul McBeth's tee shot. That's Madison. Putting it right where she needed to. And it looks like Paul's got a destroyer. He's eyeing up something big here. Wanting to get this crowd going. Wanting to get a couple bucks in his pocket. He goes up and over. And not sure where that ended up. Hokom with a forehand roller from the Tweebs. Needs to stand up. Wow, great shot. Just outside the circle. I'm going to take this moment to say that we've got Big Jerm on a microphone over there trying to call the shots. Big Jerm, you need to practice, buddy. Not good. Much like Paul Ulibarri's roller right here. Drew Gibson for eagle. He takes a run up. Always trying to skip it in. I like the effort on Drew there. Paige, opposite route, forehand skipper. Nice layup. And after McBeth's huge over-the-top shot, Madison Walker is probably about 100 feet out. She's straddling, got the forehand. When I said 100, I mean 85. Whatever it is, Madison did not make it. She's about 25 short. McBeth opting for a different route. He's going with the backhand. May even be trying to do a jump putt of sorts here. Looks like he's going to be tossing it though. For eagle, we'll call it a layup. Zoe looking real serious with the patent pending. Wanting to get some of that no money. Brinster with what I think is for the Eagle 3. I believe this is one of his old Omegas. He's going to try to spin it in there.
Here it is. Oh, chain out from about 9.
Little wind picks up Yuli's stepper. Hokom. Nice jumper.
Hokom hits a great jump putt.
And we're moving on. Big Jerm thinks he can talk. Look at him with his little. Look at, hey.
I can talk. What do you talk? I can talk.
Whose is bigger?
Microphones at once. Give me that. I'll double microphone out of this.
Rookies.
Only one of you has a PA system.
At hole 16, it is a par 4, 582 feet. Paul Ulibarri with an amazing tee shot. Hole 16 is the most open tee shot on the course. Allows these players to really grip and rip. And that is exactly what Paige Pierce did, landing just short of Paul Ulibarri's drive. This being a pretty standard par 4 for players of this caliber, expect to see all birdies here. If someone wants to get some of the $650 that are up for grabs, they're going to have to do something spectacular. Looks like Steve does a nice little hyzer flip. He's going to be just next to Paige, literally within inches. Those trees that we just saw all three competitors land by are about 410 feet from the basket.
On the edge of the fairway. Drew looks like he is trying to make this shot.
Oh, good run.
little backdoor action here from Zoe. Right up there.
Oh.
Just a bit high from Ulibarri.
How does it lift?
From the Houck. Brinster with a nice 25-footer. Large putt from Paige Pierce, pushing $650 on the hole 17. Hole 17 is worth $400, making it $1,050 for a hole 17.
Double it.
Good putt from Sarah, in case there is a hole playoff.
Time out, time out.
Oh my goodness. Paul McBeth with a rare miss from inside 10 feet. But Madison Walker cleans up. The low sidearm from Sarah. Scoots up to inside 50. Paul with a low rip. Oh, catches outside of a tree. We might have had an ace run if they'd missed that.
Oh yeah, that's the one.
Paige Pierce loves her shot. And she should. She is up there within 60 feet. Right out of her hand, she knew it was the one. Drew Gibson just inside the tree, jumps, and almost an ace from Drew Gibson. Great shot there. He didn't like his shot quite as much as Paige did, but they're both up there looking. And 2 meters is not in effect, so you're fine. Bit too low for Madison. Paul hits a tree again and just catches the outside edge. Great line. Madison flexes her purple rhino to just about circle's edge. Paul hits a tree and he getting it a run and almost brings it up. When will we see a throw in? That was almost it. Paul giving it a run just to the right side. Put those shots together. And he's had a spit out. And Steve came up a bit short. In the air. And it's in! $1,000 putt from Paige Pierce. Better known as the two-time mixed double world champion. No big deal. Two, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9,000. $50. All right, this is the last hole. This hole is worth $500. Par 5, so it is a best captain's choice format. So both players will tee off, and then they get to play their preferred lie all the way until the hole's completed. Early tree kicks left. Opens the door for Drew Gibson. Drew throws almost the exact line he threw earlier in the playoff to get into the skins, but catches a tree that stays in the fairway.
Oh my God.
Once again, an early tree. Ulibarri laces a fast drive, trying to stay away from skipping left, and I think he has, ladies and gentlemen. That was a pure shot. I think his finger is better, ladies and gentlemen.
No, I think we'll be all right. Can you just move those logs back?
Zotron misses the first tree and it's going left. May or may not be on the edge.
At least the gap.
Late turning straight shot all the way down the middle, ladies and gentlemen. Beautiful shot.
Good reset.
Bit early, but it's coming back in the fairway. in the fairway. That's with a great shot down the middle. As long as it's not skipping left, he's going to be perfect. A great technical forehand from Paige, right in the perfect position. Great shot. Wow. Unfortunately, timeout was called right before that throw by McBeth, so that throw will not count. Zotron the Destroyer with a huge shot, flexing down the middle, way up there, again opening the door for Brinster to let loose. Looking great, going down the fairway.
Yeah, Steve.
There's something at the end. That's way up there.
There it is.
Turnover. Is it going to come back? It's going to be on the edge. He's going with a big roller here. Is he going to stand up? Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Ulibarri somehow stays on
That's
his
an
feet.
18-month suspension call.
Football's been called. 18-month suspension. Zoe needs this to go in. A bit long, great run. Steve with another nice run, a bit wide, and it's inside the circle. Gibson is not laying up. Oh my goodness! He almost. That was within inches. If you couldn't see that, that was within inches.
Oh, wider.
Sarah giving it a run.
Oh, nice.
Almost bringing it up from the woods.
Oh my God.
Paul loves it. But he just barely misses. That putt was for $500. Incredible Eagle 3. Mostly thanks to Madison Walker, contributed a little bit by Paul McBeth.
Thank you, thank you. I hit many trees and pages.
Car the other day? You bought a car recently?
I did.
A nice car.
Put $4 grand down, Bubba. Oh yeah, how bad is that? How bad is that?
Here, I'll just take that.
Play start right at 9.
Caddy life.
I'm the disc golf guy, and Dana, we just wrapped this action up. A little bit different workflow out there today. We had Justin on the front camera. I was on the catch camera. You were calling the shots. What'd you see?
Saw some good shots out there, mainly Paul McBeth's eagle on hole 18 for $500. That was definitely, his second shot was definitely the best of the day.
What wasn't the best was Big Jerm's commentary. We could hear him all the way down the fairway. I'm sorry if that intercepted at any point into the real video production we had going on. But what did you think out there? What would you rate it?
Well, it didn't make my job easier having to hear Jerm. Jerm actually tried to qualify for the skins, gave up, shot terrible, and then somehow found a microphone. I don't know who gave it.
Yeah, not usually a good idea. So you'd say he failed multiple times today.
Oh my God!
Into the qualifying, and then on the microphone.
So he's set up for tomorrow. He's, you know, the odds are for him to.
Yes.
Unless
two
he just,
strikes
unless he just
and then a home run.
to-
2 strikes, then the home run.
Unless he continues the downward spiral that he's currently in, failing twice today. But I think he's going to bounce back tomorrow and throw some really good shots.
Are you guys going to talk about what happened
All
out
right,
there? Or are you
so
just going to talk what's going
It was
on
a great
here?
day out there. We had a lot of fun. I'd like to thank you, Dynamite. Hopefully everybody enjoyed the video. It was all in good fun. Having a great time out here. We're in Nantucket. We're on an island, for crying out loud. This is disc golf living at its greatest. For Dynamite and myself and Justin, hope you enjoyed right here the skins in Nantucket.